My name is Goldman. I'm the director of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues. And today we're going to talk about something that's very, very interesting. It has to do with what happens if your ex doesn't pay something that they're obligated to pay for under the judgment. Let me tell you the scenario. Let's say it's a situation where there was some sort of debt. Maybe there was an obligation to pay another relative. Or maybe you owed money to parents, and the judgment says that $50,000 shall be paid to the wife's mother by a certain amount of time. Or maybe the house is in someone else's name and it wasn't really awarded to anybody in the divorce, but the judgment says that it should be titled to somebody else by a certain amount of time. What are the remedies for failure to comply with the judgment? Well, there's a couple things you got to look to. Number one, we got to find out who is the person who's supposed to be the beneficiary of the judgment. Is it a party to the judgment, the husband or the wife, or is it some third party? It's going to make a difference, because if it's a benefit or a thing that's supposed to be awarded to someone else, not a party to the divorce, and it hasn't happened yet, then really the person who is supposed to get that benefit, that's really his or her thing to follow up on. They would have to take appropriate action. In essence, the judgment is like a contract, but it's a contract between the parties to the judgment, between the husband and the wife. It's not a contract between a husband and somebody else, wife's mother, wife's father, another relative, a vendor, or something like that. So while the judgment may say that husband is supposed to pay X to the ex-mother-in-law, for example, the judgment in and of itself can't be used for that purpose. Other supplemental proceedings have to be filed in order for the mother-in-law to say, hey, where's my stuff back? You were supposed to give it to me. And so the proceedings will have to be undertaken for that. Now, let's say it's different. Let's say the judgment is between the two and affects the rights of one or the other. So, for example, husband is supposed to sell the house and pay the wife a certain amount of proceeds, let's say within 90 days of the judgment. What happens if he doesn't do it? Well, then there's a different sort of remedy. Supplemental proceedings will have to be filed, but they'll be filed within the judgment. It'll be the same case number. It'll go to the same judge. It'll say, here's the order. This is a contract between the two of us, and he's failed to comply. It's possible that the court might even consider this an item for a show cause, where you could ask the court to hold the person in contempt for failure to follow the terms of the judgment. More likely than not, though, in the situation that I described, where it's a property issue, the court may say it's a property issue, and the court may say, look, this judgment resolves what's supposed to happen. However, if you didn't get a car that you were supposed to get, sue him on the judgment. The judgment will allow enforcement and a short-circuiting of that litigation in order to get you what you want. If the thing is that a person is supposed to, let's say, put the house up for sale, and he never does, the court can take shorter recourse for that, maybe even hold the person in contempt, appoint a receiver, have the receiver sell the house. There's all sorts of things that the court can do. Don't think for a minute, though, that just because your case is over, that you have no remedies. The case may be over, but the directive of the court remains. And if the court directed in the judgment that people are supposed to do certain things and they don't, you've got to contact your lawyer, you've got to tell him or her what happened, and they will in turn decide what's the appropriate remedy. Is it a show cause? Is it a lawsuit based on the judgment? What is it? But whatever it is, they'll determine what the recourse is. But don't think that you don't have that recourse, because you certainly do. If you have any questions about that, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.